Hello everybody, and welcome to this demonstration video of the Employee Violation Tracker software by TatSoft Apps. What you're looking at here is the main window, and we are going to go over every one of these buttons today. First off, I should mention that the data that you see here in this video is all fictitious. It's made up just for demonstration purposes. Before we dive in and start looking at these buttons, we probably should talk a little bit about why do you need employee violation tracking software to begin with. Why does a company need that? So when I was preparing to do this video today, I actually went out. Let's go ahead and show this. I actually went out and on Google and put why have employee violation tracking software, and I'm trying to bring this in here where you can see it. And they have a myriad of reasons, and you can look those up yourself. I'm not going to go through every one of those. But what we like to say is, oh, and also you'll notice here, look here, this is our website here. I'm happy about that. Everything they're showing here is our website. Right there. Get that plug in. Yeah, so anyway, they have a myriad of reasons. They're all valid. We like to say that, the reasons why we built the software are all those reasons that Google said as well. But also, the biggest thing is if you have problem employees, this software will give you the documentation to call that employee in and discuss it with him and show him the hard facts, reports and graphs and data metrics that show that he needs to clean his act up. You may not want to terminate that employee. You may want to just call them in for counseling and hope that you can improve their behavior, which is healthier for the company overall. But the biggest reason is if you terminate an employee. If you terminate an employee, they have a right to go to a legal counsel, and you can look this up yourself. When terminated employees do that, 60% of the time they get some compensation, and the average is $48,000. So if that would happen to you, you would want to have the documentation as to why you terminated that employee. All right, so let's go ahead and jump in. Any business software, there's usually two ways to get your data in here initially. You can import it, or you can enter it manually, or you can do a mixture of both. I'm going to go ahead and show the import button here in a minute. But basically, the way you import is through a comma-separated value file, and you'd want to have at least these 5 values in it. If you don't have any violations, that's fine. You don't have to put anything here. And when you see these records, all these looks like every bit of data we have here has violations. But mostly these might be empty. And then you would select an employee and add a violation here with this violation button. But you would need to do the import, you would need to have a comma separated value file with at least these first 5 values. And if you have violation data, you'd want to have that in there as well. So let's go click on the import button and look at that window. Select file to import allows you to go out and navigate to wherever you have that import file stored. And once you find it, you would click the open button. The location and the name would show up here, and the records would show up here. Okay, and you could look at these records before you validate and import them. Now you notice this button says validate and import, not just import. That's because what we do is we validate all the records before we import any. And that saves you, if you do have a bad record, it saves you from having to do a partial import later. So if a record fails the validation process, the software tells you which record it is. You can go fix that record. Maybe it's a misplaced comma or whatever, for whatever reason. You can go fix that record and then just start over. You don't have to worry about partial imports. Okay, so that's the way you handle that. Now the other method is the manual method, which we're going to show here. And here are the values that you see on the home screen. The employee ID, the first and last name, the hire date. We have these autofills. You can turn them on or off if you want. Have the same thing down here in violations. Autofill with today. Okay, so you would enter the employee ID, the first name and last name. You'd enter the hire date here, and then you'd select from the departments here. If this employee is in an department you haven't added a record to yet, and the department name's not showing up here, you'd simply type it in over here, and then it would immediately show up in this box as soon as you save the record. The next time you come in here, it'll be in this box. Okay, so you don't have to type those departments in over and over. Down here, if you do have violation data, we have this autofill with today for violation data if you want to use it. Here are the pre-populated violations that come with the software. These are the most common violations nationwide. We also have the other here, and you could describe it down here in the description. The descriptions can be as long as you want. You can import whole documents into these descriptions. You'll notice with our data, they're just little blurbs here for demonstration purposes. But this description field can have a myriad of things in it. Documents, it can have the employee's response. Whatever you want to put in here, there's no limit to the size. Okay, so let's go talk about the history here, the employee and department reports. The way you get a report is you got to enter a begin date. And let me go ahead and do that. I noticed that a lot of the data in this demo data is 2023, so I'm going to put those for the begin and end date. I'm going to do the whole year and try and get as much data here as I can to show. And this is an optional field. It'll show up on the report, which we'll show you here in a minute. Okay, so now from this window, you can create an employee violation report or a department violation report. Once we have our begin and end dates in here, we can just select any name. Let's say we wanted to do Mary Murphy. We can just select her name and create her violation report just by clicking this button. And I'm going to show you that in a minute. One of the things I wanted to bring out, you notice a lot of the windows have this quick search feature here. Now you can always, one way to find records is to sort on the column names. You can sort any of these column names, ascending and descending, by just clicking them like that. And that'll help you find a record, like I just sorted here on last name. But if you have hundreds or thousands, it's still going to be a little difficult. So we have this quick search feature. You can just type in a last name. I'm going to go ahead and type in Murphy, and it's case insensitive. You don't have to worry about that. And click find. And there's all the records for Mary Murphy. And I can already see that Mary has 4 violations here. That's what this is showing. So it's bringing up every one of her records in history, and each one is a separate violation. Okay? So and you can get all your data back by saying reload. Okay? So let's go ahead and do the violation report for Mary Murphy. So we've entered a begin and end date. We just select her name and say, push on this button, create employee violation report. And this box is telling you where that report is saved at, and that you can see the data here in your viewing window. And to go find that report, we have this report locator button here on most of the windows. This will bring up all of the different types of reports that the software creates. And you can always use Microsoft File Explorer to do this as well, but this report locator button makes that a lot easier. So we just created an employee violation report for Mary Murphy, and if I want to go look at that, I just click on this file icon, and guess what it does? It opens up just like I did it, just like I would have done it in Microsoft File Explorer to go to it. It opens it right up for you. And here's the employee violation report that we just created for Mary Murphy. Let's go ahead and look at it, what these reports look like. Here you have report type, employee violation report, the run date, report generated by, remember I typed your name in there, software used, begin and end date, the employee ID, the employee first name and last name, Mary Murphy, her department is finance, and she has 4 violations. And here are all her violations. And again, these violations are bogus and they're small. It's just for demonstration purposes. But what this report provides you with is every one of her violations. It provides you the date, the violation type, and then a description and employee response, anything you want in here, okay, for all 4 of her violations. The department violation report is similar, except you have a department name. Instead of Mary Murphy, you'd have the department name, and then you would have all the employee names would be here with their violation types and violation descriptions and so forth for that department. Okay, so that's your employee and department violation reports. I'm going to move right along here. And again, you can reload all your table here by just clicking on that button. All right, and every window, by the way, has a help button, and they really are helpful, and we encourage you to use those. And this, of course, the reports can be printed too as well. Okay, so now we've looked at that. This button's really easy. This is just a department roster report. You would simply click on any row here that has the department you want a roster report for, and click this button and it'll generate a roster report for you. Let's go look at these bar charts. Again, now we have to enter dates that we want the data to cover. So I'm going to enter for the whole year of 23. And we can do this by employee or department. And again, we have this feature down here to find a name. Because like I say, there could be hundreds or thousands, even thousands of names in here. There's no limit to the amount of data that this software can handle. All right, so let's say we wanted to do a report for Mark Biggins. I just simply click his name and say generate results bar graph. And here we see that Mark has one violation and it's missing work. It's MW, you see there. We have a graph legend here that'll tell you what these stand for. Okay, MW is missing work. Okay, that's all your violation types. We can do this for a department as well. Let's say we did it for maintenance, and we can see that maintenance has 9 employees. They have 3 violations. All 3 of them are missing work. Accounting, generate. Accounting has 5 employees. They have 2 violations. They have a missing work and an altercation. Again, the graph legend will tell you that ALT is altercation. Where is it? Right there. All right. So these graphs are nice. Management loves them. You can find problem departments and counsel that manager, or you can find problem employees and try to take care of the situation. So those are your department and your employee violation bar graphs. Now we also have this department and employee data metrics window. And let me get the dates in here again. And we're going to put the whole year in. And again, I'm going to select Mark and do a generate metrics, get metrics. And here on the employee violations side of this window, we can see that for Mark, here's his ID, here's his name. His hire date is here. His department name is maintenance. The number of employees in the department is 9. The number of violations is 3 that this department has had between this begin and end date. The number of violations for this employee is 1. So the department has 9 employees. There's been 3 violations, and Mark had 1 of them. So he makes up 33% of their violations. Okay? So it's just 1, but when you think there's only 9 people. All right, so now you can do the same thing over here for department. And again, we'll just go ahead and do maintenance, say get metrics. And over here on the department violation metric side of the house, it tells us the number of employees in the whole company, 22. The number of employees in this department, maintenance, up here, is 9. The number of violations in the company is 10, and the number of violations in this department is 3. So the maintenance department makes up 30% of the violation company-wide. And seeing as how there's 5 departments, they're probably a little bit high. Okay, so you might want to talk to their manager. So that's the data metrics. Let's go back. Employee directory. I'm trying to go kind of fast here. I don't want this video to be too long. Every time you enter an employee, it'll show up here, and then you can enter this information about your employees. You can enter their phone, their email, their physical address, and then any notes you have for them. And again, this notes field is unlimited in size as well. Another thing we added recently here is copy the employee email addresses to the clipboard. This will copy all of your email addresses that you have in here to the clipboard, and then you can go to any email program and paste those into the to field, and it allows you to send out mass emailings. Okay, so that's kind of nice. All right, so now we're up here, database backup, real easy. Here's where you choose the location to back up your database. You just go out and find it and click open, and then it'll show up here, the location. And we advise that you do it off your computer, external drive or zip drive, just to be safe. And here you would enter the name, and we advise you to put the date in there that you're backing it up as well, so you know what date. And then you just say database backup, and it'll save your database for you. Report locator, we've already talked about. Manage external connections. This is kind of interesting. You can add a name here and add a URL here, and then say add connection. Okay? And then they'll show up down here. And if you click on this icon, it'll take you to that. It'll actually take you to that website. It'll allow you to bring data back and forth between that system. And you can also do that with internal systems inside of your company. Employee violation viewer is nice. You can simply click on the names. This is automatically populated from the data that you've entered, and you can see all the violations for your employees. Let's see, you can add new employees. You can add a new violation simply by clicking on the name. and add your new violation here. Exit without, I'm not going to do it. You can edit a record, you can edit a violation, you can delete an employee, delete a department. Most of these windows have export data capability. This will export this data to a comma separated value file that you can use as input to other systems you may have in your company. Print table will print all this data for you. The last thing I want to go over is the security manager, and let's show that. In the security manager, you have to log on because it allows you to change your username and password, and we don't want to allow you to change somebody else's. So okay, so you log on here, and if you're logged in, it'll tell you successful log on, and it comes over here that you're logged on. And from here you can create users, username and password. These are the username requirements right here for you. Put your password in here. This has got key phrase password retrieval. You select one of these questions, you answer it here and save it, and then when you're on the logon window, if you ever forget your password, you just click on the forgot password button, and it'll show you the question that you chose and allow you to provide the answer that you did when you created the user, and then it'll give you your password. Again, that's called key phrase password retrieval. This area here will allow you to delete users. Just click them and delete them. And this area here will allow you to change your own, only your own, username and password. That's why we make you log into it. Okay? So that is the Security Maintenance Manager window. So let's go back to main. I think we've discussed everything. I wanted to keep this video fairly short. It's hard to do when you have so much to show. But we think this is really useful software. Hope to hear from you soon on it. My name is Tom. Thanks for watching, and you can see this at www.employee violation tracker software. Thanks a lot.